the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Great disservice to the world of art, and if it's not studied in classic in classes across the world in art history, it's definitely, the world has dropped the ball, and there's no reason to live in something without its beauty. So with that said, you are the Corbinite that I would want to recognize. However, with the weekend, it was good that we had some awesome photography come out of it. Isaiah, I'm going to throw one to you too. You captured a good one, a few good ones actually, while we were in Timebomb. But this is the problem I have to talk about. Look, first, let's start with Timebomb. I go up there to get revenge on Eric Cannon. Again, injury to my collarbone kept me out. Anyone who's been following knows that that was 3 months out of the ring. And I was looking to return the favor to one Eric Cannon, who seems to have no remorse for what he does to me. And this is a street fight. Now remember, I had a very difficult weekend. So the idea that I'm here talking to anybody right now and not in the hospital should show you just how tough I am. And a lot of people barely can do the schedule that I do, and they can't do it at this pace that I'm going to do. So let's talk about that. Keep that in the back of your mind if you decide to watch this and negatively respond to anything that happened to me this weekend. And first things first, we go up on a Thursday, we do all this, and we have this match, and there's garbage cans, and there's staple gun, and people were enjoying the fact. There was a sign for me based on a Goldberg sign. People took great pride this weekend in my crotch getting stapled, and I thought maybe it would just be a North Dakota thing, but then I learned that it's also a Minnesota thing, so maybe I thought it would be a Midwest thing, but then I just realized people are freaking terrible. Just terrible people who like to watch others in pain. But the amount of money that was thrown into the ring to see me get maimed is... it's beyond me. I would rather spend my money on something else. You could have spent that money on my vast variety of merch, but here we are. Okay, so anyway, I would have beat Eric Cannon, but then all of a sudden a possum shows up. Now, we all know my just disdain for this possum. Ever since it's come on the scene, I think it's been ridiculous. I think the idea that this possum is even allowed in a wrestling ring and just seems to pop up in this whole zoo of creatures that we have, and because it's an animal, all the people like it. And I think it's just ridiculous. And honestly, it has no place in my street fight, but it made it. Of course, it had to come out because there was a garbage can, and trash attracts trash, hence why Eric Cannon was in the match. And that was the main thing that cost it, because based on that distraction, then I got hit with the garbage can and I was put through a door. So here we are. So of course, Eric Cannon, you pick up the victory. But you know what? You can have it if you need a possum to win. I would never, ever in a million years stoop as low as you did on me. And then I was supposed to have the rescheduled St. Paul Slammer. But then weather came through again, and if you were wondering why this was canceled, the idea that hail destroyed numerous windows, and if after last time, remember the last time at the St. Paul Slammer where I injured my back, where I was trying to avoid the bad weather, and after trying to make sure that our equipment and our ring and everything was okay, and after that, when I went over the guardrail and landed on the guardrail awkwardly and injured my back, which seemingly bothered me for about a month, to a point where I thought I had some severe, something deep issue, and all I can think about is herniated disc, just like Shawn Michaels. And then, what if this was the end to such a glorious career, where something like this, that doesn't even happen in a match, but happens because of nature, was taken out? So I'm actually glad that this show got taken out, because you know what I got to do? I got to enjoy the finer side of nature and stay in Detroit Lakes and get to be by the lake while this happens. So I made the most of a bad situation. Speaking of bad situations, I went down to Pro Wrestling Battleground, and then at Pro Wrestling Battleground, I wrestled Connor Hopkins in a dog collar match. Now, I asked a question on my Facebook, what is your favorite dog collar match? I got a variety of them. FTR versus the Briscoes, obviously Piper versus Valentine, Cody and Brody Lee. And there was a lot of matches that got brought up that I had forgotten seemingly had happened in the past. And honestly, at Battleground, I forgot. I stand by what I say, that it's the best dog collar match in the history of Pro Wrestling Battleground, because there was a frog collar match with Venom and Thunder Frog a long time ago. Different matches, totally different matches. That match was good, but I think we had the best dog collar match at Battleground, and the only thing that would have made it better is if the referee would have given me just 3 more seconds where I could have reversed, taken the pressure off of my neck, and been able to regain control and beat Connor Hopkins. I was this close. But again, he uses the chain, he rears back, that angle. He knew what he was doing. He tried to choke me out. Now, I would never, ever do anything to Connor Hopkins that would maim him, that would wreck his appearance, that would possibly put him in harm's way. I never would ever do such a thing. So for you to do that, I guess you do want the Battleground Breakout Championship way more than I did. Because you know what? I value human life, and I can say with a smile on my face that I left unscathed. Which I know deep down, you can't say with the smile that you don't have any scars from what I've done to you, right? And then we go to Bauhaus. Now you know my record at Bauhaus, my Bauhaus record. I've had quite epic matches, and I've bled. I've sweat. I haven't quite cried yet. Well, beer I don't drink, but I was going for tears here. I don't drink, so it's not really a thing. I guess I tried one of the hops, and it's not. I just don't get what everyone likes about beer. I guess I just don't like. It doesn't matter. Well, this is the first time that I've gotten to wrestle Bussy, and you know what? I still don't know if I'm even pronouncing this right, and I don't care if that makes me sound old or just not hip with the lingo, but between trying to figure that out and being hit in the ass, or being hit in the face with asses, being hit with crotches, getting stapled again in the crotch, I guess I just might, maybe this modern has passed me by. And this match, again, what is with the obsession with you that you love? You just love to watch things getting stapled, and the money just came in the ring. Now, again, this led to Jamie getting this amazing shot, which I have to appreciate. I think it's so great. It's wonderful. It's epic, an epic photo. But in the end, Effie would beat Lore. And I mean, there was blood spilled in this match. Lore bled, Effie bled, Allie definitely bled. I think I actually, for the first time in a long time, left a match with relatively no minor injuries. I think that was actually pretty good. And I made it out of this week pretty much unscathed, considering all things considered. The upsetting part, though, is this. I don't feel that I lost any of these matches. I feel that a possum cost me one. I was never pinned in the tag, and also I never gave up. I never said I quit in this dog collar match. So you know what? On paper, where I guess it counts, you can talk about losing my Battleground Championship. But I don't feel that I lost any of these matches. And quite frankly, I look forward to, I know I'm going to have another match with Eric Cannon. I know I'll probably cross paths with Connor Hopkins. And I know, Effie, you and I aren't done. And bring Allie. Because you know what, Allie? You and I aren't done either. And as a matter of fact, I want revenge on you for what you did. But I have to look forward, because I can't dwell in the past, and I can't dwell on what everyone seemed to like. Now, the biggest thing that I want to kind of address coming up here is, yes, I might not be on the poster, but it's become so cliche to complain about that idea to not be featured on the poster. And a big part of this would be is I didn't let them know that I was going to be there, because like when this got all set up, I was gone, and so like I'm glad that I'm on the show. I've been a part of a lot of higher ground shows, but am I going to complain about the poster like so many do now? No, actually, I'm not. After the pandemic, it was never really a big deal of mine to be not on a poster. It didn't really matter. I'm still going to have the best match of the night. That's all that really matters. So I will be at the Heritage Days in St. Paul Park. I wrestled on this event last year. And then also flipping it here, I go to the 1029. Now, it is a fact that the only current championship that I hold in my possession is the 1029 championship. Now, am I going to lose this championship? No. It's against Kyle Pro. I have a really good win-loss record against Kyle Pro, and also Kyle Pro holds the record for most low blows I've ever dealt out in one single match. So he holds that record, which I don't think that his crotch really enjoys, but now you're going to put us against each other at the 1029 bar. Now, you know the appeal that I have here is I love it. It's one of the, it's, you know, nice, easy Sunday afternoon. It's perfect timing. I've wrestled at this event. The first time I ever wrestled here was 2004, and now here we are almost 20 years later. I haven't wrestled on every 1029 bar, but I've wrestled on a lot of them, and now I've wrestled on enough to be crowned champion. So there is that going for me. But I always look forward to that scrumptious lobster roll that they have there, and I've had that after every single one of my victories for the past couple of years. So I look forward to adding another victory and adding another lobster roll celebration. That is always what I'm looking forward to, is always having those moments where I can enjoy it. And if you go to my Patreon, you know that I do Darin Does Dining, the revisits, because I always talk about how great the food is. And on my travels, I really like to get to, you know, enjoy the cuisine locally. So we have that going for me. Now, this is going to wrap up a very busy summer for me. This is one of the busiest summers that I've had. Well, you know, and how do I feel? I felt worse in June than I do now. I feel way better, and I have to feel better because my fall doesn't slow down. For many wrestlers, I mean, you would never understand if you wrestle once a month. That's great. Maybe I'll be generous. Maybe you get twice a month. That's great. But you don't understand the schedule that I keep. And even when I slow down, I still wrestle a busier schedule than most people. That's just how it's been. And it's not because I'm going to say that I outwork people. It's not going to be because I say that I hustle and all that stuff. What I'm going to say is it's purely up to the fact that people want me on their event because I generate attention. And I feel like I got to do this again. I'm going to get things started. I'm going to have to get that ball rolling because this summer was not a good one for me. I lost the WrestlePalooza Championship. I just lost this Breakout Championship. I've suffered a few defeats along the way, key losses, and I need to get back on that winning track. So I can't think of a better jumping off point than this. First of all, I have a chance. I'm going to be picking up stuff at Freelance again, and my matches announced with Dan the Dad, so I have that. I also have the another match at Timebomb against Jordan, who has been on a roll at Timebomb, so picking up a victory here would solidify my place at Timebomb. And then, of course, going to Mondo Lucha, I turned the last leaf of goodwill. It was the only place where people seemed to like me, but I couldn't have that. It's just, it doesn't make me feel good. What it makes me feel good is to know I'm doing my job to make people hate me, and I'm more successful when I don't give a crap about what anyone thinks. So I had to turn that over, so I can't wait to prove that point when we go back to Turner Hall. But it's Saturday Night Nitro. Everyone just thinks that this is the end of Darin Corbin, that this is done. Why aren't you on the poster for Bauhaus? You've lost these matches. You can't beat Von Monroe. Your championship reign is over. 364 days and you're done. But remember, last year at Nitro, I was the one that everyone was talking about. So keep this in mind, that I'm going to be the one that everyone talks about again at this Saturday Night Nitro event. So I need you to understand, don't count me down and out. If you looked at my lowest low points, which is not even close to this year, But if you look at the lowest of low points that I've had, I've always bounced back. And as a matter of fact, the longer I go, the better I get. And whether you're somebody who comes out of the woodwork once in a while to have a match randomly to kind of prove that you're still relevant because two people are like, yay, you showed up, or maybe you get a couple likes on Facebook, that's not me. I'm not here to pop my friends. What I'm here to do is I'm here to make waves wherever I go. So when you look at my schedule and you see me going to all these places, trust me, I do have things in the works, but I am nowhere near done. Do not write me off. And at the big shows, you know that I always get people talking. They're big because they're once in a lifetime opportunities for many, but for me, they're a jumping point, and I'm the reason why they keep having repeat shows. So keep that in mind, and mark my words, I will make sure that I get people talking when I'm done. This has been another episode of This is CorbinCenter.